Hey guys, how's it going? So I got my XR650R here. Got it up on my Craftsman lift that I have. Pretty cool lift, by the way. Not sponsored. And I figured I'd finally make a video. I've been meaning to do this forever. So what I'm going to do is show you straps. These are kind of like the normal straps we use, right? You got your pull one, or you got your crank one. I have both type of straps. Use them both, depending what I'm doing. I might double up, what have you. These two I have on, just holding the bike on while I show you this. I got the Lockstrap here, and you probably saw my post about these or other video mentioning Lockstrap. It's a pretty cool product. What you're gonna say is, Mark, somebody's gonna still be able to steal the bike. Well, that is true. If you want something, you can take it. So this is not theft proof, this is a theft deterrent. And this is how I would envision it working in the real world. Is I'm sacrificing a strap here for you guys. Actually, I'm sacrificing a couple straps. So what I'm gonna do first, this is a lock strap. It has this on, and you can lock it, turn it, and then, if it's on the combo, you can press down. So I know what you're gonna say. Can this be attacked and defeated? We're gonna try that. Also, how easy can this be cut? But I'll give you what I think the rationale is, how this is gonna deter somebody. Or I should say, they're probably not gonna be deterred from trying to take your bike, but they're gonna be failed at their attempt and run off, right? Because no thief wants to hang around. So I'm gonna set this one right here. So here's our like a traditional strap. This one's a cheap one. You can get ones that are thicker, more like this material. But they all work the same. One thing, traditional, you have to loop it around something. Or you have to get, see? I mean, it's just hard to, at least on these handlebars, hard to get around. So we'll just assume I have it around the handlebar. I'm just gonna put it up forward just because it's easy. So I'm not fiddling around too long here. So you ratchet it. And we'll assume this is really tight, because it would be a lot tighter if you had this in your truck or on a hitch carrier. But it's there. A thief is going to come up. They're gonna see, oh, strap, I want this bike. They're gonna pull out their trusty knife, open it up, and if they do it right, real quick, and that was still quick, even my failed attempt, I got it hooked in there. But it's that quick, right? To cut one of those straps. We all know that, and I don't think you would expect anything different. And yes, I just failed at closing the knife. Shows you how much I use that knife. But here's the lock strap. Now you got a couple ways you can attach it. It has this huge point, so that's easy I can feed it around the wires, and I could just go around the bar if I wanted. But most likely, you're gonna use it how it was intended to be used. You're gonna feed that around. Make sure you're under cables. It'd be easier if I didn't have this other strap on there already, taking up space. You're gonna close it, you're gonna lock it. You're gonna go down, attach it to the bottom point. And we'll lock it too, even though it's just a demo, I don't have to. You're gonna pull that tight, and if it was in a truck or something, you're compressing the forks. So that would be tight. This would be a far-fetched scenario, but I'm walking around with a hammer, I guess. Or maybe I park nearby, I have a hammer. I see, hey, that's metal. You're not gonna get a good angle there. It's rounded, it deflects. Okay, so that's one method. That's gonna make a lot of noise. And yes, you got into it and you happen to have a hammer around. So that does work. See, I bring you truthful reviews. That does work. But the other thing is, most likely, the person's walking around with a knife, they're gonna see a strap. They're not gonna know what Lockstrap is. They're gonna open their knife. They're gonna come over and they're just going to, you know, like grab it and be like, that's a thing. Well, you know, what's going on? I can't get through. And even if I go the other way, I'm not gonna ruin my knife for you guys. Okay, it is a good knife. But they're gonna hit that wire. They're not gonna get through that. They're not gonna know what is going on. They're gonna be like, well, shit. And they're gonna run off or, you know, take off because they're out there trying to figure it out. Or, you know, if they're real stupid, they're going to take the longer approach and then they're gonna get there and they're gonna say, you know, and the bike's probably tipping over because that side's real tight because, you know, there's not extra straps. And they're gonna be like, well, that doesn't fit through there. So I know what you say. You say, Mark, can you hit that with the hammer and will that piece fail? Yeah, sorry for the neighbor's dog. Annoying. Try to do a video and they gotta bark. But you gotta say, can you hit that with the hammer and will it break? Bring the hammer back into the picture. Let's get that. Well, it broke that piece. That piece is really strong. So you're gonna be in a parking lot, banging away, just like I did there. That made a lot of noise. That's going to attract attention, especially where I stay at, like in hotels where you're parked in front of your room. And if this is on a hitch carrier, I'm backed up to the door. I like staying at those where you're parked right there. And I'm gonna hear that. If it's in the back of the truck, the same thing. I'm backed up, I'm gonna hear it, right? So most likely, a hammer's not gonna be used anyways, but I guess if you left, you went and ate, and you're not at your room, or I don't know, you're parked somewhere because you made a bad decision in the parking, you know, this still makes a lot of noise, draws a lot of attention. You know, I guess if they're thinking it through, they could loosen the strap because you could still loosen it. You could lean the bike, you could pull. You know, thieves like to work quickly. That's the other thing. And this is just not quick. It's adding time. And they're already surprised because they try to cut it. They happen to have a hammer. They did break this, did try to break this part. They couldn't. They're kind of flustered and confused of what's going on because it's dark. They don't know why they can't cut this. They feel they're like, well, there must be something in there, you know? And I mean, the only other thing they could possibly do is cut it. So I went ahead and grabbed 3 different cutters I have, you know, snips. Don't know what you want to call these, but they're heavy duty. They'll cut through stuff. And this is like hose cutter. I don't know if I really want to use it on there. I might, because it does cut hose pretty good. Okay. Well, it's a wire cutter, but it cuts rubber, wire. I don't know what type of wire they used. So, you know, they try cutting it with this. Well, it looks like if they didn't start, yeah, I have to cut right up to it slowly. It's a slow process though. It gets to the wire. So yes, it's a little slow. You know, again, they'd be working at night, most likely. Okay, so I got these. It is gonna be a lot harder because the fabric's not going to fit in here that good. Let's try pinching it like that. Yeah, just, you know, the teeth are spread across this thick material. It's just not going to cut. I can tell that's not going to work. I know what you're going to say, but Mark, they've already cut it with their knife. All just to demonstrate to you different ways. Okay, so they're mostly there, you know, not going to be able to do the best job, but let's see with most of the material out of the way. And, you know, don't know if I could even do it if it's under tension on the bike. I'm going to say that this is just not going to work real well with the fabric covering that wire even a little bit. There. Takes a little while. Those work. Okay, my wire cutters. Last one. Guess I can do it on the bike. So go around it. And yeah, that's quick. Again, did they know that did they have these on hand? That was the quickest. Did they have something else that they could use to cut? Most crimes like this are crimes of opportunity. Person's walking by, they're like, that's an easy thing to steal. And they steal it. They don't go walking around with every tool. You know, at the most they might have a knife, because depending on the state, that blade might be illegal. Some areas might be the okay length in other areas to carry, or they might not care. It's technically an electrician knife, that's all that. But, you know, they have a good sharp knife with them, and they'll try cutting. They're not gonna know what's going on, and they're gonna move on, right? It's a theft deterrent. It's not really theft proof, or I guess that would be the word most people use, like, well, that's theft proof. Well, or they like to try to think that way. Well, no, nothing is. I mean, you could attack this, like I showed, with a hammer. You could attack this with an angle grinder. And think, if you're, maybe you parked over there, you have a van or a truck, and you're like, I want to steal that bike, toss it in my truck or van, and you happen to have tools because you're in the trades, you're in construction, well, then it's not a big deal. They're going to steal whatever they want, because a battery operated angle grinder nowadays is not that expensive, and you can buy Dremels that are battery operated that are real small, and you could just, with a, it would be like bzzz. They're not that loud. Angle grinder's louder, but how quick it would take, I mean, that goes for chains, anything. And a lot of people, like for chains, say, well, but somebody will hear it, and say, most people don't butt into what's going on. I see somebody cutting sign, I don't know what's going on. Did they forget the key or whatever? Shit happens, you know. I don't want to get involved. Why? Because I don't know what they're up to, and I don't want to have that confrontation. Most people are like that, okay? And I know all you keyboard warriors will be like, but you should get involved, and you will, you know, I would kick their ass, I'd shoot them. No, you wouldn't. You people out there pounding that keyboard, you're not going to do jack shit, trust me, because there's been plenty of videos going way back where, you know, a bicycle is parked in the middle of a city and somebody just pulls out, like, you know, a power tool, and people just keep walking by. They don't care. So you're going to think somebody's going to be like, hey, there might be one person. All the thief has to do is be like, hey, man, you know, my lock's broke, so I have to cut this off. It sucks. And the person would be like, oh, okay. Now, nowadays we have cell phones and stuff, so maybe their picture will get taken. Doesn't mean they'll be found. Doesn't mean the item would be found. Honestly, if this gets stolen, I have insurance. As they say, that's the best coverage. But I still like the Lockstrap because it just prevents, it's a deterrent from a kid coming by saying, let's steal that bike, Joey. And they try stealing the bike, you know, and with normal straps I can easily do. With this, it's just deterring them from doing it. It's keeping honest people honest. Crime of opportunity, I can't keep stressing that enough, and you're never going to totally prevent somebody from stealing, and insurance is your best bet. And I have fully covered insurance on this. With both bikes, it's like $120 a year. Deductibles like $100, and I have accessory coverage, which I added on, which Progressive usually covers your accessories anyways, but I have additional $3,000 accessory coverage. That way I figured no hassle cleaning the GPS and parts and stuff, that they'll be more likely to be like, okay, we'll pay that out, which I've always had good luck with insurance companies, but you might not have. So anyways, this is a lock strap. This is what you can't do to defeat it, and you can defeat it. It's like anything. It can be defeated. If you really try and you really want something, you're going to get it. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Have a good one. Bye.